Hi. Hello, everyone. Here I am. I don't even really have anywhere that I'm particularly going to start. But let me see if I can pick something really quick. There we go. Let's see how that works for the time being. Okay. So anyway, I think I'll just wait for some people to get in the chat room before I totally start. Oh, Roxana. Oh my God. I'm freaking out. I'm so excited to see you. Holy cow. Roxana. Houston represent. Anyway, so you guys, I have no plan for today. So if you have a material that you don't have and you are, I need to remember to look up here, that you don't have and you, if I have it, I will go over it and tell you what I know about it and how I use it and that kind of thing. Or if you want me to teach you something different, let me know. I'm going live. So whatever my dogs do, sorry, I can't help it. And then the other reason I'm just going live with no plan is because all of this stuff happening in our country right now is driving me crazy. So I'm trying to just put it aside. And I'll tell you, as a side note, I am beginning a new YouTube channel called Believe. And hi, Amy. And Believe is going to be nothing like this. Has nothing to do with perfumery at all. Believe is going to be me and you having some discussions and me doing some teaching and that type of stuff about issues of trauma, sexual abuse, and grief. And I have a master's. I am a marriage and family therapist, and so I want to discuss that type of thing on my new Believe channel. So I don't think I can go live. I'm going to do a lot of live things, I think, for that. So I'd have discussions with people on the side like I am here right now and talk about those types of things. So that's what I'll be doing with that. And I can't start, I was going to start that tonight, but you have to wait 24 hours and I just started the channel. So I couldn't do it. So I'm like, well, whatever, I'll go live with my Perfumery, Mountain Aromatics. So welcome to Mountain Aromatics. I think I'll just start with this. So I have cyclohexyl ethyl alcohol. Let me say that again. Cyclohexyl ethyl alcohol. And I put on here CHEA. So you could just see I write CHEA on the bottle. And when I write on my materials, I just write CHEA. That's just what I do. It's a lot easier. And my dog has just joined me, another one. So anyway, I wanted to compare it to Mayol. So if you have Mayol, M-A-Y-O-L, it's different. It's not the same thing, but I wanted to compare it because if you have Mayol, you'll I'll tell you how to compare it with this one. So let me just do Mayol really quick because I think I've done one on Mayol already. Mayol is more floral. It has some green in there as well. Mayol, so I'm going to tell you something most people don't know. Another material that's exactly the same material is Meijif. I don't know how to say it. M-E-I-J-I-F-F. That is the same thing as Mayol, just so you know. And he is a sweet puppy. So it's 72 hours. It's a middle note. It's a very soft, fresh, clean, and It can go well with the white petals, but it definitely is with all the other. This is super forgiving, so it doesn't have to go with the white petals. It can go with all of your other florals. Any floral, very forgiving, but little, I want to say green. Green is way, way in the background. So now let's go to CHEA, the cyclohexyl ethyl alcohol. And this one is floral green lily of the valley. To me, this is cleaner. The male is a little bit warmer. This one, CHEA, is cleaner. It's brighter, and more green is in here. That clean lily of the valley with just a tad of delicate green. Definitely it is a lily of the valley for sure. It's not going to overtake a formula. So hi, Paul. Oh my gosh. Yay. Oh my gosh. Yay, yay, yay. Good to see you. So again, we're going over cyclohexyl ethyl alcohol, and it is, I don't know. Oh, it's 24 hours. It is, you can use this one. The reason why I like this one, you can use up to 50% of your formula can be this. And it is a middle note. And that's really cool. And you're like 50% of the formula. When you smell this, you'll see why, because you could use this by itself, just alone. Of course, you'd have to dilute it, blah, 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 but you already know that. But this is that clean. I'm not saying it's that complex, but it has enough, a little bit of green in the background, super, super soft and delicate. But to me, this is one of those I think you should have, because, and if I remember, it's not that expensive. Yeah, I don't think this one's very expensive. But I don't remember how much it is. I just don't. But this is a really good one. So there's a little bit of green in there, but cleaner, brighter, definitely less warm. So if you want to get your male and smell your male, the male is warmer. There's a slight warmth when compared to this one. There's a slight warmth with male. And I don't know, I think to me, the CHEA is a little bit more complex, but that's my opinion. It's just super cleaner, brighter, for sure. Then there's another material that I really, really like. So if you guys, let me tell you again, so right now, if those of you who are in the chat or who are watching, if you have a material that you don't have and you want me to go over it, and I have it right now, I will do that, because I don't have a set anything that I'm doing right now. So just so you know. So this can be your video if you want it to be. Just let me know what you want. Or if you have questions that I can answer, I will do my best. So the next one I have is Verotyl. Obviously, I didn't try to even pronounce this. So Verotyl, Verotyl. It's from PFW, that is the company. This one is a floral fresh green hyacinth, like leaf rose lilac. This one is definitely more complex. This is going to be a top note, 48 hours on the test strip, but you can use this at 20% of your formula, at 20%. Oh, to me, this is better than those other two. Woo! This one is good, because this one is the hyacinth. So it's like a fresh green hyacinth. That is exactly what this is. I'll spell it again. Verotyl. Love this because it is very bright. It's a definite top note, very bright green and hyacinth. And easy. I mean, yeah, I can detect a little bit of rose. I can detect a little bit of lilac in there as well. Those sit in the background. Super fresh flowers. Super fresh flowers here, that's for sure. This actually as well, you can use this with candles and reed stick diffusers. So if you do your reed diffusers and candles, and sometimes you people are like, hey, can I use those with candles? This goes really, really well with those. So I think springtime and summertime flowers, and in room diffusers as well, or room fragrances as well, perfect for that. Of course, with other stuff or whatever, but this is quite beautiful. And you, of course, the 20% is for your fragrance, for the body, for the skin. So if you want to use more than that, like just alone by itself, which it smells absolutely beautiful, you can do that in a fragrance, a room fragrance. No problem with that. There's just your restriction to 20% is just with room fragrance for this. I mean, for your fragrance that goes on the skin. So a lot of times I spray a lot of my fragrances on my shirt, on my clothes. So it lasts longer anyway, but if you're selling it or giving it to other people, a lot of those people will put it on their skin. How many materials do you now have, Dave? I have I have a lot now. I'm not gonna lie, I have a lot now. I have been doing a lot of background work at creatingperfume.com. And so all of the stuff, when you go to creatingperfume.com and you have seen all of the flashpoints, all of that information, and the all the international stuff and all this SDS, the safety data sheets, all of that stuff has been me in the background doing all of that for all. It's all the stuff changed in 2018. So so Roxana is saying, don't forget your own accords. Yes, so I make my own accords, and so now those are materials as well. I go crazy with accords. I don't know why. I do know why I love making accords so much, because it's creativity. Yes, it is creativity when I am making my own fragrances. And Paul, I'm not ignoring you. I will answer your question, but I'm going somewhere with this. So I just love making my own accords. I probably have of my accords, I probably have 120. There are many that I have not even put on my list. Not even put it on my list at all. I have easily 120 of just my accords. Of materials now, I probably have 500. Yeah, probably 500. But when you think about it, when you're just starting, Barry, wow. When you're just starting, the best thing to do, and how I learned, is I bought a bunch of accords from creatingperfume.com, because when you get a material like, I bet you we're going to go into it from Amy's. I just bought crystal acetate. Can you suggest how to use it in a formula? That is one of those materials that's not easy. And like, that's a great example of what I'm talking about, where it's like, whoa, how do you use this? This is going to be a little difficult, and it takes a long time. And it's that type of material, crystal acetate, that you need when you're creating a formula. And it's way more difficult to use a specific formula, a specific material like that in a formula. So the reason why I have so many formulas is because I will take, for some of my, like this is an accord, that's like 30 materials in one accord. So I need all those materials to make that one accord. And yeah, so Amy, let me just go grab it really quick because it'll be helpful with our discussion, and I need the product in front of me. Just a second. I know exactly where it is. I know where every single material is. It's hilarious, but I really do. Okay, see, I told you, I know where every single material is. I know where every material is. Anyway, so crystal acetate, I promise you, you are going to need to make a 1% solution and a 5% solution. And more than likely, you will probably just use the 1% solution. So Amy, what you will do is, the way you use those barnyard smells, and it is horse barnyard. Hi, Paula. Very overwhelming. And if you took one drop of the 100% and you put it in a formula, goodbye to you have horse barn smell. It will be disgusting. It will smell like a horse stable. This is just exactly what it's going to smell like. You're going to have to get a 1% solution. That 1% solution is going to equal those of you who, all my materials are at 20%. Perfect. This 1% solution will match all of your 20% materials that you have. If all of your materials, like me, right now are at 100%, I use my 5% solution with my 100% other materials. That's how strong this is. Now, Amy, what you're going to want to do, the best things that go with your crystal acetate are going to be two things. Your oud, agarwood, oud, those types, whether they're your sweet ouds, dark ouds, complex ouds, any type of agarwood, doesn't matter. Perfect for that. Even creating an agarwood accord, you could use this in here. And then if I said wood, if your fragrance has a dark wood, for me, I'm just saying, you're asking my opinion, you could add it into a formula where you have dark wood and put one drop of your 1% in there. And then there's a whole nother section. So all of your heavy, oh, I got the chills because I love these. You know me, your white petals, your tuberose, holy bejesus, yes. With your tuberose, your narcotic jasmine, so not like your light jasmine, you know, heady on HC. No, we're talking your like jasmine absolute, that type of stuff. Ylang ylang, your gardenia, perfect for those. But this is one of those where you want to do a 1% of this. It is your 1%. I have a 1% and a 5%. And I open the 1%, it's barnyard everywhere. So just start with one drop. And it's one of those that's like funky. How am I ever going to use this? Why would I use it? Because it is one of those that give crazy beautifulness to agarwood and those white petals in minute amounts. It reminds me of, not in smell, but the way it functions, of indole aroma or indole. It works that same way. All of my chat just went away for a few seconds, and I don't know why it did that. So let's see. Oh, Barry, have you ever used caramel materials or ever created a caramel accord? Well, guess what I just created yesterday? Oh my God, and it is gorgeous. A Gourmand accord. This Gourmand accord is caramel, vanilla. Oh my God. It's caramel, vanilla, thick. Ugh. So yes, I have, and it's right here, Barry. I love it. Oh, I am one of those. I don't care. I will smell like a piece of caramel, whatever. I don't care. Caramel cake. I don't care. I love it. It smells good. And sometimes I will put it in a shower gel, and I will use that in the month of November, December for me to be in the holiday mood. So that's what I do. Yeah. So, and I'll tell you, because there's a difference. So I also have a tonka bean accord. Laura's like, that's brand new. You haven't said that. Absolutely. I just created it. So I have a tonka bean accord, and it is warm, toasty, like cookie, honey, very honey, that kind of stuff. That is completely different, even though this is a Gourmand, than the Gourmand accord that I created. This is more vanilla, caramel, gooey, stretchy caramel that has that. So I used to be a private chef and make my own homemade caramel. And there's been a time that I burned the caramel, a time that I undercooked the caramel. And then there's when you do it correctly in the middle. And this, you can tell that the caramel has been cooked. That's, you know, you get the sugar, and the sugar is brought up to a specific temperature, that kind of stuff, and it has to stay there for a certain amount of time, blah, 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 blah. And if you don't bring it up to that temperature, you're not going to have that caramel characteristic aroma. But this is what this is, and it's just very different than, this is more like a praline, or praline, because I grew up near New Orleans, and that's what we say. But anyway, this is more, and it has a little bit of tobacco in the tonka bean accord, and a tiny bit of slight hay way in the background. But that's very different. Hello, Alora. Oh my goodness. Cade is another high impact material I like to use, but only at a 1% solution. For sure. That's absolutely right. 1%. Thank you for sharing that, Barry. Love the white florals, but wow, yours are strong. Yeah, or wow, they're strong. I'm assuming you're saying they are strong, Paula. They are strong. They're so narcotic and strong for sure, but that's kind of why I like them. Speaking of that, I, as you know, I grow my own tuberose and flowers. We had a horrible one. I had a flood and flooded my whole basement. I live in a basement. It's like my whole entire place where I live. It flooded, and then we had huge hail, and it demolished before they started shooting up. They shoot up these stems that are like more than a foot long. And right before that, they got destroyed by hail. And then, of course, I'm in Denver, Colorado, in the United States. we got a drought for the whole summer, has been totally dry. So we got flooded and then a drought. And so I only had a few of them that came up and produced flowers. And of course, I made stuff with it. I sure did. And it worked. So I have some tuberose tincture. And I also made tuberose in, not squished in the fat, but I put it in coconut oil and let it sit in that coconut oil. So I haven't finished with that yet, but it's still sitting and maturing in that. But anyway, that's what I did with it. Let's see. Paula, gourmands make me hungry too, but that's why I wear it. Oh my gosh, it does. It makes me hungry. I love it. Oh my God. But if I'm awake, I eat. It's just the way it is. And Roxana, it is awesome yummy. This Gourmand accord, I wore it by itself. I love it that much. It's so good. Oh my gosh. Corey, what up? Thank you. Glad you're here. Oh my gosh. Yes. Cool. Okay. Paul says, thoughts on Black Agar Giveco. He is thinking of getting it. And of course, I can go right to it. Oh my gosh. I know where everything that I have, I know where everything is. My first thought about getting it is yes, and hurry up, because I think Giveco is discontinuing it. And I think actually that they discontinued it in June. So whatever Susan at creatingperfume.com has, I believe that's all that she will be able to get. If I'm wrong, I will change something in the show notes below and let you know. But that is my understanding. It's not something that Susan has stopped purchasing. It is a decision by Giveco to no longer produce it, Black Agar. So Black Agar is very rich. It's very sophisticated. It is oud, agarwood, and oud is the same thing. It's 400. It's a base, of course, 400 hours on the test strip. It gives longevity. This one to me is in between a sweet oud and a poop oud. Look, people, you know what I'm talking about, those poop ouds. It's true. And they're beautiful. It's awesome. You just use it in a minute amount. A great example of the poop oud, where is it? Is leather oud. So the leather oud on creatingperfume.com is less leathery than you think, and it's more poop oud, like poop oud. But when you dilute it down to like literally, I think I did a 1% of it as well, the leather facets appear and come out when you use it in a 1%. So to me, again, back to the agarwood Giveco, to me, this is in between the poop oud, between the poop oud and the sweet oud. It's just, it's right in the middle. It's, to me, it's very, very sophisticated. It's forgiving, but it's on the edge of like not being forgiving if you do a lot of it. No, of the ouds, this is pretty forgiving. This is really good. It is it is like a light yellow. It is a oil consistency. So not a water consistency, but more of an oil consistency. I love this because you can add this one to other woods. You can put this with any type of floral, even your lighter magnolia, lily of the valley, blah, blah, blah. You can just use that, of course, with florals. So your darker ouds, what is typical is, and I made some, I bet you it's right here. That one's not it. But what is typical is a dark oud and rose, like a rose absolute or that type of thing, those two together. And there are times, so they'll put different types of rose or different types of oud, those different combinations they will make. And then sometimes they will use oud, rose, and some spices. So those are pretty typical when you are in Arab countries. That's a lot of times how they use it. Crazy simple, super concentrated. So you'll buy tiny little vials of it, and a lot of times that's what it will be. Different types, they'll pick one type of oud, they'll pick one type of rose together, and sometimes they'll pick a spice, but it's very simple, and that's a lot of times how they use oud. This one to me though, I love it. Just to me, it's very sophisticated. And you know, Blackwood, who does Blackwood? I forgot who does the Blackwood. Formulating does Blackwood. It is, you know how Blackwood is very, very forgiving, like really forgiving. It's a tiny bit darker than Blackwood by Formulating. I really like it. I would say, yes, give it. I'm trying to read now and see where we are. Corey, you just said you purchased the pretty oud from Firmenich, not so pretty. I've heard the exact same thing, and that's why I've never gotten it. But I think my dog stepped on something, meaning this, because my thing is asking me, can I help you? No. Anyway.
I'm not sure I understand.
Let me explain it again then. I'm not sure where my thing is. Here it is. Sorry. Let me get rid of this really quick. Okay. Sorry about that. So yes, I've heard the same thing about the pretty oud, and every single person said the exact same quote, not so pretty. So I did not get it. Poopy oud. Yeah, well, another poopy oud is the leather oud from... Oh, I don't have who makes the leather oud, but it's the only leather oud, and that's the name of it, on creatingperfume.com. But if you don't like the poopy stuff, you will not like it. And it's not that leathery, just so you know. But the leather facets will come out if you do a 1% or a 5%. So, yeah, those of you who are doing a... those of you who are doing a, like all your stuff is 20%, do a 1%, and you start with one drop, please. Lay down. Lay down. I am on live all over the world. You have to behave. So let's see. I just want to say to everybody, thank you so much for being here. And I appreciate all of you guys. Yeah, Barry, Blackwood. I love Blackwood. So Barry says the Blackwood with agarwood, SCO2. So that's the supercritical CO2. That sounds like it'd be awesome together. I've never tried those two together. That sounds really cool. MS says she loved, or he or she loved the ambergris show. Thank you. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. I did a lot of research for that one, which I do research anyway, so it's not that big of a deal. but I enjoyed it. I loved doing that show as well. I did it twice, so now I really remember everything now. You know what I was thinking the other day is that for those of you who are just starting, and I feel like I could just put myself in that same category where I'm just starting as well, it's so interesting where, if you think about it, there's some materials here that we have and that we work with that have been here since like 1964 and some since like 1920. That's pretty amazing to think back. Like I went back and I was reading some old stuff, and it's talking about specific materials that we of course still use today. But I'm just like, oh God, they've been around for so long. That's just amazing. It's pretty, I don't know, for me, that's just really pretty interesting and amazing that these materials have been around for so long. Chopper, please stop. I knew this was going to happen. Anytime, my dogs don't do anything and they'll sleep all day, but as soon as I turn on the video, they go crazy. Let's see. Oh, thank you, Paula. I'm a dude, MS. All right. Nice. Well, I'm so glad you're here. So glad you're here. Let's see what else I want to talk about. Let's see. So a lot of you are here, so I'll just tell you one more time for those of you who didn't hear it in the beginning. So I've started a brand new channel on YouTube. And in fact, I just started it tonight, so I can't do a live show on it because you have to wait 24 hours till they blah, blah. It's all this crap that has to happen in the background. But anyway, so I can't do it until then. It has zero to do with perfumery, except for, of course, I can tie it in because I can. But it's called Believe. And Believe is going to be talk, information, discussion about trauma, sexual abuse, and grief. I have my master's in marriage and family therapy, and I love those subjects of trauma, sexual abuse, and grief. Grief, death, whatever your grief is from, that type of stuff. Trauma, all kinds of trauma. The only trauma that I don't deal with, because it would take just one trauma I don't deal with, is from war and PTSD from war. So that's the only one that's not my specialty. So it's more trauma from many other ways, and sexual abuse and trauma through grief and that type of stuff. So I'm going to start that. Again, it's called Believe, and I will be starting that. Hopefully tomorrow I will go live with that. So anyway, I just was trying to do that and do a live show and just get some stuff out there tonight, and it wouldn't let me because you have to wait 24 hours. So anyway, yes, Barry is talking about this. So Google has a lot of old books called Google Books, has a lot of old books that are on perfumery that are worth checking out. In fact, as well, the National Library, the government library, you can get a lot of those as well, for sure. A lot of those that I have found deal with a lot of naturals. They don't all, but a lot of it does. The older the book, the more natural materials that you're going to find in there, and they're incredibly interesting. I just posted on my Patreon page. You don't have to be a patron, but if you go to my Patreon page on Mountain Aromatics, I just posted, and anyone can click on it. And what it is it is a like a photo, or no, it's a PDF that you can print out, and it has probably 5 or 6 different flowers. And for each flower, it's going to give you 3 of the main chemical components in that flower. So incredibly interesting. If you want to go to Patreon, Mountain Aromatics, patreon.com/Mountain Aromatics, and you want to download that PDF for free, it's there for anyone. You don't have to be a Patreon, one of my patrons. So I hope that will be helpful as well. Yes, I'm just moving around a lot. Sorry, just trying to get comfortable. Corey says, can you give any pointers on ways to make make a formula project? Corey, can you give me just a little bit more, be a little bit more specific with that? I'm not sure if I want to make sure I'm telling you what you're wanting to hear, that I can help you with that. MS, I'm just going to be calling you MS. MS is working on a funeral now. Wow, that's awesome. That's really good. Thank you, Roxana. I appreciate it. Oh, the sillage. So sillage to me, that is where, for those of you, sillage is kind of like when you have a fragrance on and you're walking, let me put it this way. Somebody has a fragrance on and you're walking in the mall and they walk by you and they've passed you and they're still present. You can still smell that aroma and they're already in a different store and it's still there. That's sillage. And if I'm saying something wrong, please, people, Laura, just let me know. Projection, Alora is saying. My understanding is sillage is what is the lasting effect, and projection and projecting out. To me, the thing that's most helpful with that are the aldehydes. And I mean like aldehyde, aldehyde C12MNA, those types. So not like the coconut aldehydes or the strawberry aldehyde, that the C16, which is strawberry aldehyde, not those aldehydes, but the other aldehydes, and the floral supra, those types that are the aldehydes you need to put at a 1%, and some I have at a 0.5%. That type of stuff can help. Oh, no, was asked earlier. Okay, cool, by Corey. So that's the thing about looking at that. Sometimes I'm looking and I'm answering something, the wrong thing. Anyway, so to me, for sillage, which is somebody who walks by and that is just lingering aroma that just stays there, is from aldehydes, but also projection. That is an aldehyde. Those aldehydes will definitely get projection as well, for sure. Let me see. Yes, so not sure what else to. Does anybody else have any questions or anything like that? Again, if you want me to go over a material that you do not have and you're really interested, like, hey, tell me about this material. Tell me now, and if I have it, I will go over it. So here's your opportunity now, and I can do that. You just put it in there if there's some type of material. I'm glowing. I know. It's because I'm hot in here now. It's like, actually, in Colorado, it's like 50 degrees, the high. Yay, we got snow today. Not in Denver, but yeah, we got snow almost all over the state today. Thank God. But it's hot in here. And then when I'm on live, I get a little nervous and hot as well. So I'm glowing. Barry is saying you should do a live show where we're all making the same or similar formula at the same time. Right? Okay, so I'm just gonna do this. So I am going to make a formula right now, but I'm just gonna tell you, I'm gonna use my accords. So not a problem. So hear me out, and this can be your project. If you don't have my accords, here's your project. Find similar materials and use those materials. So you don't have to have my exact accords. Of course, it's not going to be the exact same formula. It's not going to have the same exact aroma, but it can be incredibly very similar. So because I'm going to be obviously doing this on the fly, and that's how I love doing it. I don't care. But I'm going to pull some and make a formula with you, and I'll tell you what I use, and use similar formulas. Use similar materials. That's all you have to do. So, boom, here we go. Guess what? Gourmand Accord. I'm going to just start with that, and just here I go. You know what? I hate to do this, but I'm going to switch on you. I'm going to start with Frangipani Accord. So Frangipani. Frangipani is like floral with a little bit of citrus, just so you know. It's kind of a delicate aroma. I don't know how to explain Frangipani Accord, but so in this thing, you can pick out a floral that you like. It can be magnolia, or it could be, let's see what else. It could be any of the florals that you might like. Lilac, water lily, anything like that. So anyway, I'm going to start with Frangipani. I'm going to pick out a wood amber accord. So my wood amber accord, because you might be like, well, what kind of wood? What kind of amber? It's a soft wood, a soft light wood. So not the darker wood, a lighter wood. And the amber is a soft rounded amber. So a nice, very forgiving wood amber accord. Okay, so Frangipani wood amber, and we've talked about this before, and this is always helpful. So this is it's called MA for Mountain Aromatics. Grossman, I don't know how to pronounce it, sorry, Grojsman accord. That is that lady, she puts that in a lot of her formulas that she used to do, and that was her signature kind of a thing that she would make with all of her formulas or all of her fragrances. So anyway, this one's another forgiving, and to me, it's a great blender. So the Grossman accord. MS is wearing Amber Absolute right now. That's awesome. Oh my gosh, cool. I love Amber as well. I have the, if you've not watched my last video that I just did, you should watch it. I have the Amber Oil Fossilized. If you don't have that, which you probably do, but if you don't, you should get some of that. Stuff's amazing if you love Amber that much. Anyway, so M.A. Grossman accord, and then I'm going to do a peach accord, and I want to do, so I have a Lily of the Valley accord. This one is not a bright top Lily of the Valley. This is more of a subtle, strong, and I don't mean like strong, but I just mean resilient Lily of the Valley. So it's not like this high top note Lily of the Valley thing. It's more of a strong, assertive, confidently, quietly assertive Lily of the Valley accord. That's what this one is. So, and I probably won't use that much of it, but it'll make a difference in the whole entire formula. This Lily of the Valley is luxurious. That's a great word for this one. Because it's not so like bright and kind of all over the place. This is a more centered Lily of the Valley. Strong, quiet, and centered Lily of the Valley. So then the next thing I want to use is so I have another one, and a few people who are in the chat right now have this one, Floral Precious Wood Accord, number 868 if you're counting. It is a dark wood. This is the way I've always described it. It's dark wood soaked in florals. If you just drowned wood in florals, a dark wood in florals, that's what this is. Because the florals are absolutely, it's complex florals, and they are there, and they put the dark wood in the background, and they are the support of this accord. Beautifully rounded though, where it's not too separate like wood and floral. It's not, they're not separated. They are completely intertwined. But the florals have control, and they're telling the wood what to do. Only way I can explain it. So right there, I think the only other thing I think could be really cool is I have a deep resin accord. So this deep resin accord, a lot of people are automatically going to go to frankincense and myrrh. And yes, frankincense and myrrh is in here, and you can pick out that myrrh, but it's way more complex than that because there are other resins that are out there. Like, again, y'all, I'm horrible with pronouncing stuff, but whatever. So the Copaiba balsam, that's actually an oleo resin. So even though it says, you know, it's like, it looks like an essential oil, and it actually kind of drops like a watery type of material. I'll spell it Copaiba balsam. It's actually an oleo resin. So it's a fixative. It does not have a harsh aroma. It doesn't have a heavy aroma in it. But that's another resin. Then there's Opopanax. People, Opopanax is the sister to frankincense and myrrh, just so you know. It's the sister to those two. They're very, very similar. Just how, and I want to say it this way, just how frankincense and myrrh are similar, you know how they're different, but they're both resins. Opopanax is a resin as well, and it is similar in that way, and they're all three different. All three different. Frankincense is more shrill and more high note, sharper. The myrrh is more grounded, way more grounded and more rounded, almost like deep brown sugar. Like people are like, he is crazy. But I'm telling you, if you got myrrh, it would be like that myrrh absolute. And Opopanax is kind of similar in that way, and it has a totally different aroma. So this is just different deep resins, and I'm just kind of going all over the place. So I'm going to get focused back here, and that's what we're going to go with. I'm going to just say it one more time. Wood Amber Accord, Frangipani Accord, M.A. Grossman Accord. That is going to be like a blender. Peach Accord, Lily of the Valley Accord, Floral Precious Wood Accord, which is a complex, heavy floral soaked in a dark wood, not light wood, a dark wood, and then Deep Resin Accord. It is still a watery consistency, but you can see it's dark. It smells like pure resin. It's very heavy. It is going to give some longevity. It's a fixative for sure. So here we go. Okay, let me grab a, yes, I know it's one of the bigger ones, but I don't have any of the small ones available to me right this moment. So I'm just going to use this in a bigger thing. Okay, so I'm just going to talk out loud and I'm just going to talk out loud to tell you what I do. And instead of just me thinking it and doing what I do, I'm going to think out loud and tell you what I do. Okay. So for me, I want to, a lot of times what I will do is I will think about, okay, what am I wanting to create here? And typically it's not always, but with this formula, there's going to be one thing. I want it to be the main thing. And I want to have these other things around it to be around it and support it all around. So no triangle, all that kind of stuff. I'm just saying this time I want to pick one of these and I want it to be the center of it. And I want these other things to be around it and to support it. So with these things, you could pick a different material than me and it be the main focus, or you could pick two of these and these are the two things and they're the main things and everything else I want to support it. Of course, there may be some new people here, so there's no wrong or right way to do this. You think, with this fragrance, what do I want it to mostly smell like? Or there's people who are like, I want to use all of these and I want it to be completely even and that way. And you can do that as well. For me, I think I want the wood amber and deep resin to be the main structure of my formula. So what I do, crazy or not, whatever, I pull them forward and those are at the front. Now what I do is I'm like, okay, what do I want to just be way in the background if there is something I want it to be way in the background? One of them is Frangipani. I'm going to push that back some. So I literally move it back. So I have 3 stages of, or 3 levels of fragrances, of materials. So that's kind of what I do. And I'm going to go through, is there anything else I want to just be in the background? Peach, I want to put to the background. I want to use the less amount of that. And so the lily of the valley and the floral precious wood are in the middle. So when I do that, I'm not saying it's the top note, middle note, or bottom note. That's not what I'm doing here. For this, I'm saying in the front that I'm pulling to the front, this is the main part of the fragrance that I'm creating. And the middle part of the fragrance, or what I want behind that to come out, to stand out, is the lily of the valley and the other two. And then just way in the background that you can detect, but it's really faint, is the frangipani and peach. So that's what I'm doing. So here I go. And I'm just going to do what I do. Wood Amber Accord. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 drops of Wood Amber Accord. 14. And then I'm going to head over all the way to the Deep Resin Accord. You could go in the same order. It doesn't matter, but I'm just going to do the main ones first. Sometimes I'm just doing what I do. So I'll smell it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And 6 of this is a lot. So Deep Resin, 6. The M.A. Grossman Accord is, it's more of a blender. To me, this is not, oh, here's this material fragrance, and it doesn't have much of a fragrance. To me, it's more of a blender that makes your fragrance cohesive. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's MA 5. I put 5. You may be like, well, why did you put 5? I can answer that because there's a reason why I do everything I do. Because this peach accord, to me, is very fatty, heavy, fatty. It has a very fatty aroma. Not a waxy, but a very fatty aroma. And I want to get that. I want it to reach the top all the way. I just want it to be all the way through. And I think putting 5 drops of the M.A. Grossman, probably saying it wrong, Accord in there, I think will help with that. Lily of the Valley. Remember, this is silently strong. I don't mean silently where you can't smell it and there is not an aroma, because there is. It's just going to be consistent. 1, 2, 3. 3 drops. 3 drops of Lily of the Valley Accord. 3. Precious Wood Accord. Woo! It smells good. Oh my gosh. So amazing. 1, 2, 3. Yes, so good. 3. My kids, my little babies, my dogs are like, what? Frangipani. Frangipani to me is a top middle note. Oh, good Lord. It's complex. It's beautiful. Wow. I'm not going to lie. To me, is my opinion. This is me and what I'm thinking. To me, my Frangipani Accord is on par with my Sweet Pineapple Accord. It just, to me, it is. It's like, I don't even understand how I was able to do it, and I did. And the Frangipani Accord, it changed after a month. It's so funny how things will change, and I just gave it time and gave it time and gave it time, and it's beautiful. Wow. Oh my God. I haven't put a drop in yet. 1, 2, 3. 3. Okay. And then peach, I'm just going to do 2. 1, 2. 2 of the peach. Now, this is what I always do. And I'm like, oh yeah, I want to put some. Now here, I can either put some Hedione HC or some just Hedione. And I, when I evaluate this, again, I'm just going to talk out loud instead of keeping it in my head. When I evaluate this and I have some heavier, like the peach, which is kind of fatty, and the lily of the valley, which is kind of just strong and consistent, I think I'm going to use 1 drop of Hedione HC. So write it down. Hedione HC. 1 drop. 1. Oh, I already see something else I have to add. So the other thing, I love this one. Roxana's going to go ballistic and then be like, yay! MA Spirit Accord. So I have, it's called a Spirit Accord. To me, this gives magic to any formula, and it almost smells see-through. Hence the word spirit. But the other part of it, why I called it spirit, is because it does some magic to any formula, whether it's a light or heavy, whatever, it doesn't matter. And as a byproduct, what happens is it is a fixative as well. So love it. Because this is not going to, I'm using the Spirit Accord. I never use my Spirit Accord for its aroma properties. It almost has no aroma at all, but it does have a little bit of aroma that is so neutral, it can go with anything, but it just brings magic. And I didn't want to call it Magic Accord. To me, it's Spirit Accord. So here we go. 1, 2, 3. I put 3 MA Spirit Accords, 3 of them. Good night, Alora. 3 MA Spirit Accord. MS says, does the Spirit Accord bind the molecules together? Yes, absolutely. So it does 3 things. It is a blender, or binds them all together. It takes everything from the top notes to the bottom notes and pulls them all together. That's the first thing. The second thing it does is, to me, it does some magic where you could have a formula that's like, this is a nice formula. And then you could add a drop or 2 of this into that formula, and you're like, whoa, what just happened? Because I'm not changing the aroma of your fragrance. I'm just putting, I do research, people. I'm telling you, I do research. I love research, hours and hours of research. This gives magic, will put magic into your formula and take it up. And I don't mean it, this lifts up your formula like Hedione HC. No, this is not the same. It doesn't take it up and lift it up. What it does is it takes your whole entire formula and puts some magic in there. It puts spirit in there without changing the formula. And then number 3, it gives longevity. It is a fixative as a byproduct. I did not set out for it to be a fixative, but it is. So that's the reason that I love it. And I told Roxana to do this because she has some of mine. I said, make a formula with this and make the exact same formula without it. Wait a month, go back to it, and you watch the difference. Because that's what I'm talking about with this. So it is one I use often. I love it. It's amazing. Thank you so much, Roxana and Amy. I love you guys. Oh my God. Barry is asking, are these accords available or for your use only. No, I do sell my accords, and I will put, again, in the show notes after this, because I won't be able to do it till afterwards, I'll put a PDF. I have a PDF of my accords, and I'll tell you, I don't have all of my accords on that PDF, but they definitely are getting better. What is not, I'll tell you the two, no, I have four that are not on my list that that are going to go on my list that are amazing, that I really, really like. Galbanum accord. If you are just starting out, don't worry about my galbanum accord. Galbanum is green, and you need to think it is one of the molecules that is in pineapple. So you think green and pineapple together. But if you've been doing some perfumery for a while, there's some galbanum products out there that are like, will drive you nuts. And that is why I created this, because this one will not drive you nuts, and it's very helpful, where the other ones are hard to use and you've got to figure all this stuff out, and it's just difficult. And they're very one-dimensional, and mine is not. The next one is a cypress accord. Now, the thing about my accords, I will tell you why they're so different and, to me, amazing, is because I do make them for me. And so, of course, I make them as the best as I possibly can. They include CO2s and absolute. So is there cypress absolute in here? Absolutely there is. There's also cypress blue essential oil. And yeah, the oil is blue. That's in here. So things like that, where you would have to buy 10 to 12 different things just to make this. And this is completely complex. That is what's different about my accords. So there's a cypress accord, a fir balsam accord. Hello. Oh my God. It is good. So fir balsam. You're like, is there fir balsam absolute? If you've been watching me, you know I love fir balsam absolute. That is in here. And other things like fir balsam, essential oil, other things that absolutely make it more complex and beautiful. It smells like liquid Christmas tree. The next one is my Gourmand accord. That is not on my list, but I have it. And then the tonka bean accord. Tonka bean accord is crazy. Oh my God, that's another one that's just, I'm like, wow, I cannot believe that happened. Wow, it's just amazing. I love it. You can all see how I get. This is me. This is the real me. I freak out and I get so excited when I talk about this stuff. I really do. Ooh, so good. So anyway, at the end of this, yes, in the show notes below, I will put a link to my PDF. I haven't found a way to like put the PDF in there in the show notes. I will try again, but I've tried to do that and I can't do it. I can only put a link to my Dropbox. But when you go to it, I believe you'll be able to download my PDF from that Dropbox. But I'll try to do both. So anyway, so now at the very end, I close the top, and there's not much in here, so I'm gonna just shake it like this, and I'm gonna see what we got. MS is like, can you wear the accords by themselves? Roxana, what you think? I'll tell you the ones that you can wear completely by themselves. The Frangipani accord, the Hawaiian accord. Oh my God. The Halt Tropical Citrus accord. To me, you can wear that by itself. I have an incense accord. I think you can wear by yourself. My gardenia accord, my complex floral, my soft floral, and my fine floral. All of those you can wear completely by itself. The other one, the floral precious wood, absolutely. It's a fragrance in and of itself. I'm telling you, you can wear that one by itself. Another one that you can wear by itself is going to be my Forest Retreat accord. and my MIDI sandalwood accord you can wear by itself, and then my leather rose accord you can wear by itself, and then my leather tuberose accord you can wear by itself, and I have my vanilla tuberose you can wear by itself. I could keep on going. So yeah, there's a lot of these you can wear completely by themselves. The other thing, my accords are so complex, you can take just three accords and put them together and have an incredibly complex fragrance. And that can be very helpful and motivating, especially if you're just beginning, because a lot of times one of my accords has 60 materials in that one accord. And are you going to buy 60 things just to know? So that's why accords are so amazing and so beautiful, is that floral precious wood accord. All you have to do is remember 868. That's the number. All of my accords will have a number on them. And this one's 868 floral precious wood accord. Oh heck, where do I buy? Directly from me. You can either email me. I will, if somebody will write my email address in there, denverrocks@me.com, denverrocks@me.com. That is my email address. And you can, Denver. I live in Denver, Colorado in the United States. denverrocks@me.com. Thank you, Paul. I appreciate it. And you can contact me. And as I get to know you, I have some people that text me and they have questions, and I will answer them and text them back and that kind of stuff. And so it's just kind of like after I kind of get to know you, I will do that. But until then, just an email. And if you email me, I can just directly email you the PDF as well of my accords. But I will put it in the show notes below as well for you to have. Your kid lives in Denver by the big glass bong museum. Awesome. Cool. I'm in South Denver. Steve says he's ordering the pineapple accord soon. I'm telling you, the pineapple accord, it smells like you have sliced into a pineapple in the summertime, and it is perfectly ripe and you're about to eat it. Promise you. It's that was magic. I don't know how I did that, but it is perfect. It is amazing. It really is one of my top out of the 120 that I have, or however many I have. It is in my top 5 for sure. For sure. I just want to say thank you guys so much. I did this tonight because I just needed therapy, and this is therapy for me. I just have been so frustrated with everything that I see on TV, and I can't stop watching it. So I think I'm gonna do it. I don't care. I'm gonna end with this. If someone you know is out there and they come to you with information about their type of abuse, whatever abuse it is, I promise you I'm gonna make it quick. So listening and just hearing them and validating them is the number one thing you can do. Just listen, hear them, and validate them. That is important. And I'll just keep it at that. And that actually fits with grief as well, and that fits with trauma as well. Doesn't matter. All of that is just stop, put your stuff aside, hear them, listen to them, and validate them. And that's really all you have to do. So a lot of people get so nervous. I'm like, oh my God, they just told me something. It's crazy. And I don't understand. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say. It's really easy. Don't say a whole lot and just say, tell me more. Tell me more about that. I want to know more. Can you tell me a little bit more about that as well? Wow, that sounds like a lot. I'm so sorry. The end, you've done what you need to do. It's actually that simple. So, whether your friend or someone else is going through grief, trauma, PTSD, whatever, that's how simple it is. So, again, I will be starting a new channel called Believe. Hopefully, it will be up and running tomorrow. Hopefully. So, I just thank you guys who support me, Amy, Roxana. Oh God, I hate when I do that because now I'm just gonna forget everybody. But you people know who support me. Paul, I thank you so much. It means the world to me. For me, this is therapy. This fragrance is therapy for me. So I'm gonna go back to fragrance one more time. Let me tell you one way why it's therapeutic for me. So I want to tie it into my other podcast, my other channel. So you can create, that's what you people do. You create a fragrance. Let's say you can create a fragrance for yourself and you're making a specific fragrance that every time something good in your life happens, you are going to go to that fragrance and you are going to wear it and put it on. Every single time something good happens to you, and they can be a little bit bigger things that are good and significant and very life-affirming, that type of stuff, and you go to that fragrance all the time, you are going to have an association with good things and good vibes and inner strength, that type of stuff. 5-10 years from now, you go back, you will have that connection. It's such a strong connection. And that is what I want to do. That is what you can do for the people that you make formulas for, that you create aromas for, is I'm going to tell you one other, thank you for sending me the email. I'm going to tell you one other short story that shares this. There was a man, as soon as he and his wife found out they were pregnant, he bought a fragrance for him. And as soon as he found out, he wore that fragrance that day. Every single time they went to a doctor's appointment together, he wore that fragrance. When they went to the hospital, or when they went shopping for clothes for the baby before the baby was born, he wore that fragrance. When they went to the hospital to deliver their baby, he wore that fragrance. He had a little girl. Every birthday party for that little girl, he would wear that fragrance. When that little girl had a theater production at school, he went and he wore that fragrance. When she got married, he wore that fragrance. Later down the road, he, of course, gave her a bottle of that fragrance. When she smelled that, and every time she smelled that, it brought her back to her loving father and beautiful times and all of that kind of stuff. That's what I'm talking about, with a strong, strong association with that. And that's just one example of the stuff that I want to do. And that's the same thing that you can do for your people and for yourself if you want to create. And you can have 5 different fragrances for 5 completely, totally different things, and they have 5 completely different associations. That is the art of perfumery. That's the therapy of perfumery, and that's the art of perfumery. And that is what I want to give you. That is why I do this. That is why I want to teach you and help you with this stuff. You can make a difference in your own life, and you can make a difference in other people's lives with the art of perfumery. It's amazing. It's so amazing. Oh, scent memory. Yes, scent memory is the strongest association that we have. It's amazing. So thank you so much for putting my Patreon link on. It's right now on the side. And thank you so much for your love and your support. And I appreciate it so much. Yes, thank you. I appreciate you joining me, and I will see you soon, I promise. And I appreciate you watching Mountain Aromatics, and I will see you on the next one. And of course, it's going to take me a minute to find the thing to turn it off. Yes, thank you so much. I hope you guys have a beautiful night. I can't find where to click. Oh my gosh. Oh, it's way down there. I love you guys.